Yo, what's up, y'all? Who is Nancy Guthrie? Well, she is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, an NBC Today show co-anchor who has gone missing. And we are now on day 5. Why is she so important? It is because she is the mother of the news anchor. So, of course, there's going to be national headlines made out in order to find her. And there is a $50,000 reward. The FBI has issued a $50,000 reward for the whereabouts of Savannah's mother. Who are the suspects? Well, let the sheriffs tell it. Everyone is still a suspect, including the brother-in-law. I'll let them tell it. I'm not going to spoil it for y'all because they are frantically searching for Savannah's mother, who they also say they found blood that was tested and it came back to Nancy Guthrie. So yes, she is actually missing. And yes, she may not be alive, but sheriffs are saying they still have hope that she is alive. Not to mention, a ransom note was also left behind for her mother. So let's see what the sheriffs had to say about the information they are gathering when it comes to the disappearance of Nancy.
Right now, we believe Nancy is still out there. I think you all know the blood on the porch. That was one we did. It came back to Nancy. That's what we know. But there's still more items that have been submitted. We just haven't got them back yet. But to be clear, we have nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect. We're just not there. We're not there yet. But at about 5:32 p.m., these are approximate times. 5:32 p.m., Nancy travels to her local family's home for dinner and playing games with the family, just visiting. At 9:48 p.m., which is very consistent to what we were told by the family, that Nancy was dropped off at home, and we know that because we have a garage door open at approximately, I can't stress that enough, at approximately 9:48 p.m. At 9:50 p.m., that garage door closes. Because that time we assume that Nancy's home and probably going to bed. Sunday morning, early morning at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. 2:28, Nancy's pacemaker app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone. And at 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy and discovers her missing. And at 12:03 p.m., 911 is called in to the 𝗕𝗵𝘁 County Sheriff's Department.
Now, why is it important for them to keep hope alive and say that they believe Nancy is still out there? And when they say they believe she's still out there, they are not talking about a corpse. They are talking about alive. They want to find her alive, well and alive. So they must tell people that she is still out there, she is still breathing, she is still alive, to keep hope alive. In order for people to search for her, you believe, if you tell the public that you believe she is deceased and she is no longer with us, people will say what? Well, it is what it is. But if you offer a reward of $50,000 and you tell people you believe she's still out there, then of course people are going to do what? Do their best in order to give you some type of information so that you can find her. Not to mention, they don't want to discourage the family of Nancy Guthrie. No, why would you do that? Not to mention, if you had information that she passed away and she was no longer living, you also don't want to divulge that information because the suspect might be amongst the family members. The suspect might be someone that you least expect, and you don't want them to know exactly what it is you know already. Because someone might slip up and say something that you did not put out there in the news. And why is it also important to create a timeline It is because they have to start from the time before she was kidnapped or before she disappeared. They have to go down that timeline up to the very moment when she disappeared. And that doorbell camera being disconnected when it was disconnected, and then someone is sensed to be at the doorstep, but there's no video footage, tells you what? Inside job, doesn't it? We're not going to speculate. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but we have to follow the evidence, and that's exactly what these sheriffs are doing.
The doorbell camera, it was removed. We know that, but we're not confirming that any cameras were smashed or destroyed around the house.
And we're going to start.
Oh, wow.
And a complaint will be presented to a magistrate judge later today.
You know what? That might be the one that was sent to TMZ, because TMZ received a ransom note. Yeah, they received a ransom note. Now, of course, a real kidnapper is not going to send a ransom note to TMZ. Why would they do that? So that might be the person that they are talking about, because trust and believe, if you are an imposter and you draw up a fake ransom note and you try to take credit for the kidnapping in order for you to get the $50,000 some way, somehow, they will find out. This is the FBI we're talking about. They will find out. They have a high conviction rate. They're not your local police department. So play around and find out. Well, y'all gotta understand something. They are absolutely right about that, because she does have a pacemaker, which tells you what? She is not in the best of health.
Mommy.
Do y'all want to know what's crazy about videos like this? If you go back to, what is it, Scott Peterson, I believe his name is, the guy who offed his wife, and the other guy who, I believe he deleted his wife and his 2 daughters and stuffed them in barrels at work, then went on the news and did something exactly like this. You have to look into the eyes of all these people, because sometimes it's usually the person that you least expect. It's usually the person who is pleading for that person to come home the most. Yes, and they've done the undescribable to that person. They've done something horrible to that person, and then they play it off in front of the media. We have seen this happen time and time over again. So am I saying that Savannah is guilty of something? No, that's not what I'm saying. Am I saying that these 2 people next to her are guilty of something? No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am implying is that you keep an open mind to everything.
Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere.
What's very clear from watching the video is that Savannah had help in writing her statement.
We spoke with forensic scientist Dr. Amy Santoro, who has nearly 2 decades of law enforcement experience.
It's almost certain that she received input from the FBI, who certainly advised her to speak directly to the people who she believes have their mother.
Of course.
That personal plea is important, and every word that she said had a meaning to them to try to get the information that they need.
Most days, of course, Savannah greets you right here from this desk, but this morning, our dear friend has a very different message.
The Today Show playing the family's entire 4-minute statement. Savannah's sister and brother flanking her as she said this.
We live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive, and
understand something, people. If a family member of mine is missing, I'm not reading anything off of a note. I'm just saying that's just me. I'm going to plea to the kidnappers and have a heart-to-heart with them while I look them in the face. While I look in the camera. You have to. Because you have to show them that you are a human being. And you have to show them that you are missing the person that they've kidnapped. You also have to bring them to your level and show them that you want them to show sympathy. You want them to have empathy. That's how you do it. You don't read off of a piece of paper, because then it becomes impersonal. It's not personal anymore. It's like reading from a script. So what are they going to say? A kidnapper will be like, yeah, whatever. Whatever.
You have her.
When you look at the body language, it's so important to remember that this is the most stressful thing that these people have ever been through in their life. The other thing that you can see in the statement is that Savannah and her sister Annie
They
are
all have
holding
scripts.
hands. It's clear that they're relying on each other for support.
Savannah's plea was released right after a surprise new search at Nancy's home. Crime scene tape going up, authorities going inside. News Nation senior national correspondent Brian Enton was there as it went down.
Suddenly, just a whole team of police showed up. They came in pickup trucks, they came in an evidence van. We could see them searching the area around the house, and then they started going in and out of the garage, going in and out with evidence bags. I got the sense they were looking for something specific, just because how organized it seemed. Within 2 hours, the tape was down and they were gone.
Our partners wanted a chance to see it and examine things themselves. And more importantly, it's just we're constantly following up on things.
And the sheriff laid out a new timeline surrounding her disappearance.
Nancy was dropped off at home, and we know that because we have a garage door open at approximately 9:48 p.m. Sunday morning, early morning at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects.
Again, the timeline.
At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera.
Software
There's
does.
no video available.
Of
2:28, Nancy's pacemaker app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone. And at 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy, discovers her missing, and at 12:03 p.m., 911 is called.
So what about those alleged
And this kidnapping was definitely planned, because if you go through the timeline, they knew exactly when she was going to be alone. If you go through the timeline, they knew exactly when to disconnect any recording devices. If you go through the timeline, they knew exactly when she was dropped off at home. So they knew exactly when to abduct her.
letters Savannah spoke about in her emotional statement?
We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media.
We are aware of a ransom letter that was sent to the local media and then to
TMZ.
national outlets. As with every lead,
It's fake.
we are taking it seriously. The ransom itself, one talked about an Apple Watch and one talked about a floodlight. We have made one arrest related to an imposter ransom demand to anyone that may be involved. Do the right thing. This is an 84-year-old grandma.
We pray for our sister Nancy. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.